Welcome to Ganitika.com. This is a website for mathematics lovers, learners, and leaders. In this video, you will learn about units that are used to measure angles, and you will also learn how to measure and construct different types of angles. Let's start first by cutting a circle into equal parts like this. Since the parts are all equal, the angles inside them are also equal. But if I continue cutting this into smaller and smaller parts, the angle inside them becomes smaller, but still they are equal to each other. I can continue cutting the circle until I get 360 equal parts. So the angle made by these parts is named as 1 degree. So when a circle is cut into 360 equal parts, the angle made by one part is called a degree. So degree is a unit to measure the angles. So in a circle, we have 360 degrees. You have learned that a full circle makes a complete angle. Therefore, a complete angle is actually equal to 360 degrees. And it is written as 360 with a small circle on the top. The small circle on the top of the number indicates we are measuring the angle in terms of degrees. We can also measure angles in another unit. Instead of cutting the circle into 360 equal parts, I am going to cut it in a different way. So I measure the radius, and for the same measurement, I cut an arc on the circumference of the circle. So in this figure, the length of the blue line and the green arc are the same. I complete the part of the circle by drawing this radius. So in this figure, the blue line, the red line are radii, therefore they are equal. Since we have measured the green arc to be equal to the radius, all the three colored parts are all equal to each other. The angle made by this part of the circle is called a radian. In fact, 1 radian is approximately equal to 57 degrees. So, radians and degrees are two of the units that are used to measure angles. I can continue cutting the circle in the same way, where the arc's length is equal to the radius of the circle. So I am getting third part on the circle, the fourth part, fifth part, and the sixth part, and I am left over with a small part in the circle. Which means I have so far constructed 6 radians inside a circle with a small leftover. The leftover part has approximately 0.2 radians. Therefore, in total, a circle has 6.2 radians. Previously, we saw a circle has 360 degrees. Therefore, 360 degrees is approximately equal to 6.2 radians. In fact, 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, where pi is the irrational number. More about radians can be seen in the topic trigonometry in the website Ganitika.com. In this video, we will only be dealing with degrees. Let's summarize what we just learned. We learned 2 units for angles. In fact, there are more units that are used to measure angles, but in this case, we just saw 2 of them, degrees and radians. Degrees are written with a small circle on the top of the number. So 35 degrees is written like this, whereas for radians, we don't write any units. We just write the number of the measure for radians, and we don't write any units for radians. In one full circle, when it is measured in degrees, we have 360 degrees. When measured in radians, we have 2 pi radians. You can notice that after 2 pi, we don't write any units or any symbols to represent radians. So if we write 2 pi, you know that we have measured the angle in terms of radians. Let's continue to see how to measure angles. The instrument used to measure angles is called a protractor, and it looks like this. Each division in the protractor is 1 degree. Therefore, a protractor measures the angle in terms of degrees. You should have noticed that the protractor has the numbers ranging from 0 all the way to 180 degrees on this side, as well as 0 to 180 degrees on this side. This is helpful to measure angles on both the sides of the protractor. And another thing you can take from here is a protractor can measure maximum of 180 degrees in this case. There are also circular protractors which measure 360 degrees, but this protractor measures up to 180 degrees. on both the ways. The center of the protractor should be aligned with the vertex of the angle like this. So the vertex of the angle should be coinciding with the center of the protractor, and the baseline should coincide with the zero of the protractor. Once you look at the zero, you should start measuring the angle from that part of the protractor, in this case the inner part of the protractor. So from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 up to the second line, in this case it measures 50 degrees. Therefore the angle measured in this case is 50 degrees. If the angle is given on this side, align the protractor with the vertex of the angle and the base with the zero of the protractor on this side. Therefore the zero is on the outer side of the protractor. So carefully measure the angle from 0, 10, 20, 30 all the way to the second line. In this case, the second line meets the protractor at 40 degrees. Therefore, the angle measured here is 40 degrees. Let's measure this angle using the protractor. Take the protractor, align the center of the protractor with the vertex of the angle and the baseline with the zero of the angle. Now you should understand which side of the protractor you should measure. This is on the outer side. Therefore, measure from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 all the way up to the second line. Here the second line reaches the protractor at 60 degrees. Therefore, the measure of the angle here is 60 degrees. Another example, align the protractor accordingly and check for the baseline coinciding with the zero of the protractor. It goes on this side until the second line. It is 140 degrees. Therefore, the angle made by this is 140 degrees. Let's see how to construct different types of angles. In the previous video, you saw all the types of angles, namely acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, and complete and reflex angles. In this video, you will be seeing how to construct these angles. Let's start by constructing a 40-degree angle. First, you need the baseline for the angle. Therefore, you draw the baseline of any measure. Next, we need the vertex of the angle. So, mark the vertex on one side of the line that you just drew. Put the protractor on the vertex so that it aligns with the baseline and look for the zero on the protractor. Now, we are asked to construct 40 degrees. So, from the zero, measure up to 40 degrees. The 40 degrees is here. Mark the point on the 40 degrees and then join the vertex and this point marked. Therefore, we have constructed 40 degrees now. From the baseline all the way up to the green line, it is 40 degrees according to the protractor. And we just constructed an acute angle. Now let's construct 90 degrees and see what angle is it. Make the baseline of any measure, mark the vertex, align the protractor on the vertex and the baseline, look for the zero. From 0, count 90 degrees and it stops here. Mark at 90, join the vertex and the marked point, and therefore the angle that you have made is 90 degrees. You can see that the green line is vertical and the blue line is horizontal, and they both are perpendicular to each other, which means we have just constructed a right angle. 90 degrees is a right angle. Let's construct 120 degrees. Make the baseline, mark the vertex, align the protractor accordingly, look for the zero, and from 0 go on up to 120 on the protractor. Mark the point at 120, join the vertex and the point. Now you have constructed 120 degrees, and looking at the angle, you know it is an obtuse angle. How to construct 180 degrees? Construct the baseline first, let it be a little longer, and let the vertex be placed in the center of the line. Place the protractor accordingly. Look for the zero on the right side or on the left side, but we usually start with the right side. So look for the zero and go all the way up to 180 degrees, which means you are going to the next side of the protractor. So as I said in the beginning, a protractor can measure up to 180 degrees. Therefore, from 0 all the way to 180 degrees, we have a straight angle. So this is 180 degrees, which means a straight angle measures 180 degrees. Let's now construct 220 degrees. 220 degrees is more than 180 degrees. Therefore, We will first draw 180 degrees as we just did before. This is 180 degrees. Now we need little more than 180 degrees to reach to 220 degrees. Therefore, keep the protractor on the other side of the line. Let's find out how much more we need to draw now. Subtracting from 220 degrees, we get 40. So we need 40 more degrees to reach up to 220 degrees. Marking it and joining the point. This is 180 degrees plus 40 degrees, making it together into 220 degrees. So this is a reflex angle. Let's construct 315 degrees now. In the same way, construct the baseline. Mark the vertex. As you constructed 220 degrees, we can construct it in the same way, measuring what is left over after 180 degrees by subtracting from 315, and we are left over with 135 degrees. Therefore, from 0 all the way to 135 degrees, you can mark a point here and make the angle. Instead, you can subtract 360 minus 315 and get the angle 45 degrees, keeping the protractor downwards. Look for the 0 here and go up to 45 degrees from this side of the protractor. Mark the point, which will be the same point as you marked before. Complete the angle. So you have actually marked the other side of the angle, which is 45 degrees here. Therefore, 360 degrees minus 45 degrees will give you 315 degrees. This is another way of constructing a reflex angle. So this method is by constructing the acute angle on the opposite side of the reflex angle. Thanks for watching. For further learning about angles, visit Angles chapter in Ganitika.com. Thank you. Bye bye.